You know what's an amazing feeling? Betting on yourself and winning, especially when you bet big. Enter Dak Prescott. The Dallas Cowboys quarterback broke the internet and bank last night. Year one of his new deal, $75 million. Woo child, that's just only year one. The first 3 years reportedly averaged to $42 million. Add it all up, and you've got a 4-year contract extension worth $160 million. It's a massive contract for Prescott, who suffered a season-ending ankle injury in Week 5 last season. Ironically, his injury showed the Cowboys how much they needed him. Prescott is signed, sealed, but will he be able to deliver? The Jets also made a big move before today's franchise tag deadline. It just didn't cost them as much as Dallas. Gang Green is reportedly tagging safety Marcus May, which would pay him roughly $10.5 million next season. Consider this an early birthday present for May, who turns 28 today. The 2017 second-round draft pick has been a key contributor on D, especially after the departure of Jamal Adams. Meanwhile, in Port St. Lucie, we could finally get an answer soon on Francisco Lindor's future in Queens. The Mets and Lindor's team are reportedly expected to begin talks this week. Francisco picked a good day to finally record his first hit as a Met. Third inning, Lindor hits a hard-hit ball off the pitcher's glove and beats the throw to first. Later in the fifth, Mets down 0-3. Lindor hits another single, this one out to left field. A solid day for Lindor at the plate, but the Mets fall short. Final score, 9-5 Nationals. That puts a bow on our sports morning recap. Back to you guys at the desk. Let's shift now to something a bit more pressing. It's been back-to-back days of errors by the Mets infield. Yesterday, Jeff McNeil was the main culprit, a rough day at third base. Today was J.D. Davis. How concerned, Steve, should we be about this Mets defense?
You know, it's 7 errors in the last 2 games. That is certainly something to perk up about a little bit and say, well, what's going on here?
As much as the NBA tried, they just couldn't escape All-Star Weekend without a hiccup. Philadelphia stars Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons will be sidelined for tonight's game because of contact tracing. Before traveling to Atlanta, the two came in contact with a barber in Philly who tested positive. No replacements have been named for the two All-Stars. Keep in mind, tonight's festivities will look a bit different. Everything from the game to the dunk contest are being showcased in one night. Plenty of New Yorkers will be rooting for Team Kevin Durant, which features James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Knicks star Julius Randle, who's making his first ever All-Star appearance.
Yeah, it's definitely a different feeling. Definitely something I'm very proud of to be a part of, and something you don't take for granted. So. It's amazing. It's a lot of energy. Just, it's not a normal All-Star weekend, but you definitely feel special being here for sure.
Let's head to Port St. Lucie. The Mets looking for their third straight win with Marcus Stroman on the mound. Stroman's debut earlier this week was, by his standards, nasty. Today against Miami, not his best stuff or his worst. Stroman gave up 2 runs over 3 frames, one from this wild pitch in the first. Miami takes an early 2-0 lead. The Amazings respond in the fourth. Jonathan Villar hammers a 3-run shot to right to tie it up at 3. The contest would remain tied to the very end. Final score, 4-4. Meanwhile in Tampa, Yankees and Phillies, the oldest bomber, Brett Gardner, looks well in midseason form. Just ask former Met Zach Wheeler. Gardy takes him deep for a grand slam. That's why New York brought Gardy back on a deal for his championship experience and this. Pinstripes win this 4-0. Shifting gears to the NHL, home isn't just where the heart is for the Islanders. It's also where the wins are. The Isles are still the only undefeated team at home in regulation in the league. I think someone forgot to share that with Buffalo in the game notes. Second period, Jordan Eberle finds Anders Lee, the captain, for a first goal of the game. Exactly a minute later, Isles back on the attack. Brock Nelson finds the back of the net. 2-0 Isles. The offensive outburst isn't over yet. Later, Casey Cizikas connects from the one-timer from J.G. Pageau. The Isles all Isles in this. New York wins this by the score of 5-2 for their 5th straight W. Meanwhile, in the NBA, another star is jumping on the Brooklyn championship chase train. Six-time All-Star Blake Griffin has officially bought a one-way ticket to the Barclays. As you shared with you yesterday, it's a one-year veteran minimum deal. While Blake isn't the same player he once was, his pedigree makes this move a low risk for the Nets. Griffin is averaging 12 points per game this season, but Brooklyn doesn't need him to be a top scorer. James Harden and company are just hoping he can be a playmaker and help out with the interior defense.